Good evening, my awesome friends, my followers, members of the channel, and other people that just pop in. Thank you for joining me. Yes, it's been a weird day actually. Started off the day. Thanks to those who are in the chat. Gonna say I started off the day finding out that I had been murdered in a Halloween murder mystery put together by a lot of decent YouTubers. I'm going to say that. Grumpy made a brilliant video. Grumpy Sapper, thank you for that. A little bit strange when I read all the people that are involved, and I thought, does Foxy feel like that? Does Mel feel like that? Does the Tarot feel like that? Does it was it was weird, but listen, it's going to be fun, I'm sure. Yeah, so there we go. So thank you to those that have put together the Halloween mystery special. It's going to be fantastic. So there we go. Right. I have received, I don't know, off the top of my head, I think 10, 11, 12 emails today, all about Tommy Robinson. Listen, people, and I have spoke to people before this, other YouTubers, to talk a lot of YouTubers, there's one or two which will tackle this subject, and the rest of people will stay well clear of Tommy Robinson. They will, and it's because he's got a following. Let's be honest. I think the government, the UK government, are currently turning him into some sort of martyr. In my opinion, I'm allowed to say that they are with their continued attacks towards him. Whenever you discuss the subject Tommy Robinson, it brings people to your platform, whether they like you or whether they hate you, and everyone has an opinion, and you're allowed to have opinions. Let me just point that out. You're allowed to have opinions on this. Do I like Tommy Robinson? The truth is, I don't mind him. He doesn't, in my opinion, he doesn't cause me any issues. He causes me less issues than online stalking, doesn't he? So there we go. Right. So he used to be known as Tommy Robinson. He's still Tommy Robinson. But I'm getting the opinion now, and the feel is that the mainstream media are throwing his name out left, right, and centre. Now, everyone should know now, because it's in the paper, that his real name is Stephen Yaxley Lemon. And the papers are very, very good. The media are very, very good at throwing that name out. They are trying to sort of, in my opinion, not only name him, but possibly put his children and his wife in danger by doing this. He goes out and he's now a journalist. He covers certain stories that the mainstream media won't cover. Now, I have read this 3 or 4 times today to make sure that I get it right, because I know that in social media, when you get something wrong, everyone wants to come on top of you and destroy you. So you need to get it right. So Tommy Robinson did today get sent to jail for 18 months. Okay? 18 months. He agreed to the judge, and he admitted to the judge that he had carried out contempt of court. Now, the court had to react today, and I'll tell you why. Because he made a film called Silenced. Now, whether you like it or not, the information in that film that he made was false information. The person who he highlighted in that film Silenced was successful in suing Tommy Robinson for libel, and he was successful. Tommy should have taken that video down, but he didn't, because Tommy doesn't care, and that's the bottom line. He doesn't care. And what you'll find is that video is still pinned to his X account. It's had over 44 million views. The judge could see that Tommy didn't care about the rule of law, and as far as the judge is concerned, Tommy was sticking his fingers up at the fact that he had been told repeatedly not to put stuff online that was false information. He was successfully sued, and now he has to serve 18 months. But what the judge has to take into consideration is how this is going to be portrayed in the public, because it's very, very clear, as well as this, that the UK law enforcement want to silence him. They want to silence him. They don't want him out there. As far as they're concerned, 18 months locking him away and he'll probably do half of that. He may do 6 to 9 months, let's be honest. If he goes to jail, they will probably, in my opinion, they'll probably be planning what to do next with Tommy Robinson. It's quite clear that he is the biggest pain in the government side, and he's highlighting issues that mainstream media won't cover. So I just thought I'd get that out of the way. I did earlier on, you may hate me for this, I did earlier on try to contact Belmarsh Prison to get Tommy's prison number, because guess what? He may be locked up. I do not know what category they've put him down as. Other people in the chat may have a better understanding than me, but I do know that you can write into Tommy. You can offer your support. And I do believe that you can give him £1 or £2. I don't think he needs your money, let's be honest. But you can donate £1 or £2 to his prison fund for his tuck shop. But there we go. I don't think he's going to need it, but there you go. If you want to write to him, you can write to Belmarsh Prison. Just type it into Google, Belmarsh Prison. It gives you the address, and you can write on it. I think if you write on it Tommy Robinson, they'll probably bin it. The prison officers may bin it. But if you write on his real name, Stephen Yaxley Lemon, and to the prison, then you may be able to get a bit of support to him. So there we go. He wasn't sentenced under Tommy Robinson. He was sentenced under Stephen Yaxley Lemon. So that's how you can get stuff to him if you write to Belmarsh Prison. But I spoke to people earlier on who are more in the know than me, and they said, Trevor, you know, he's there at the minute, but, you know, the system is the system. The system could move him to another prison, and just as he's settling in, then move him to another prison and another prison, and the system could swallow him up and make his life unbearable while he's in prison, which is, do you know what? It's not illegal to do that, and that's what authorities can do to certain prisoners if they are a pain in the government side. Just letting you know that. Right, Carla says he's a political prisoner. He's not a political prisoner, Carla. He's not. I have looked at everything today. I've already spoke about this at the start of this video. I will repeat it one more time. Tommy was told not to put a video online which had false information. The person who he spoke about, which had over 44 million views, he had lied in his little documentary. The person who he spoke about in his documentary sued Tommy Robinson and was successful because it was false information. He should have got it right. I'm just pointing that out. Anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. If you're going to make a video about somebody, or you're going to put stuff online on somebody, in today's day and age, make sure you've got the right information. Because if you've got the wrong information, you're going to be out of pocket. It's one of those things, ladies and gentlemen. It's unfortunate, but these things, the law is the law, whether you agree with it or not. I do agree. Listen, this is the problem you've got with Tommy Robinson. We all know that they're out to get him. So if they're out to get him and they're watching everything he does, he can't afford to make mistakes, because the minute he makes a mistake, they're going to pounce on him. And that's what happened with this documentary, unfortunately. He got a few things wrong and they just went after him. So if you're going to be out in the public eye and you're going to be outspoken, you must make sure your information is 100% accurate. I'm sure you all agree with that. You make sure, because if it's not accurate, the authorities are going to bounce all over you. And that's what they did, unfortunately. So there we go. Tommy must be in a safe part of prison, not the block. Precious Quinty, the very, I'm not too sure. They were reluctant to give out his prison number earlier, but just write, if you write to Stephen Yaxley Lemon and to Belmarsh Prison and write the stuff in there, it'll go to him if you want to give him support. Just thought I'd let you know. Right, what else have I found out today? My God, people, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Right, not only is Tommy away, we now have the artist forming. I find good information. People send me stuff all the time, and I have to check it out with different people to make sure that I don't say things which are wrong. But I do know that the artist formerly known as Prince, the hostage, or should I say, he's now known as the escapee. He's escaped. He is trying to build bridges in the UK. He's trying to connect with all his old veteran friends and all those in high society that he once had so close a relationship with, that he turned his back on for a couple of years and shit all over them. So I can see an individual trying to rebuild bridges in the UK. He's constantly doing it. He's reaching out to people. Word is getting about. He's reaching out, trying to get people back on side. Don't know why. I can only assume that he wants to rebuild relationships so that when he does eventually come back to the UK, and he will come, whether we like it or not, he will come. He wants to rebuild information. Sorry, I read Lennon there. Lennon, sorry. He wants to rebuild old bridges which were once so tight and supported him. But here, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you shit all over your friends and you shit all over your family and you shit all over everyone, it's very, very hard to rebuild bridges. I can tell you that now. Once the door shuts, even me, I don't just shut doors on people, I fucking lock them up from the inside. Bolt, 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 padlock on. So if you crap on people, the door shuts, the door gets wedged shut, it's locked. There's no getting through that door anymore. So it's going to be difficult for individuals to try and rebuild those type of things. Hope he don't come back, Steve. Well, it looks like there's possibilities. Joy, I agree. There you go. By the way, Carl is on the chat. Had a chat with Carl on the phone earlier on. Quite nice. And Foxy's in. Good to see Foxy. I have to go on one of your chats again, Foxy. I haven't been there in a while. Carla, he'll get back if he's actually. He'll get back in if he's actually separated. I'm not sure. You can come back, but if you come back to the UK, listen, he's never going to have a job, is he? He's never going to be employed. He needs to be the center stage of something. I mean, he's got no qualifications, has he? He hasn't. He's got nothing. He's thick as fucking thing in the head. So it'll be difficult for someone to. There's no rules. There's no rules, honestly. He would have to beg his brother to let him back into the family, in my opinion. Deb Scott's last, welcome. Give me more says this. All right. Thanks, Gareth. I've highlighted this on the screen. If you do want to write to Stephen Yaxley Lemon, aka Tommy Robinson, in Belmarsh Prison, his prison number is now on the screen. Thank you very, very much for that. So there you go, people. It's there. Someone always finds out. This person here got it from somebody. I tried to phone today, 2 or 3 times, and I kept getting put through to different places, and it was a night. I didn't find the Belmarsh prison system very, very helpful. There we go. Christine's on. Good to see you, Christine. Windsor is a social outcast. Leave him there. I agree with 100%. Grumpy Stapper says, I shouldn't have taken that off. I'm going to leave that number back on, actually. I shouldn't have taken that down. I apologize. After that person went through all the hard work to get that. Where is it? Pamela Bain's on. Good to see Pamela. There we go. I'll leave that back up, people, for anyone in the chat that wants Tommy's prison number. Now, listen, I'll point this out before we get people in the chat and people saying things. Me and Tommy aren't friends, okay? We've never met. We used to follow each other on Twitter years ago, and we've sent private messages in the past, years and years ago. But I'm just putting this up here because to be quite honest, I don't believe he deserves the amount of shit that he gets. That's my opinion. I don't believe he deserves the amount of shit that gets thrown at him. He's covering stories which our other journalists won't touch. I mean, if he worked for the BBC, he would be safe, wouldn't he? Because that's the BBC are left alone, aren't they? I'm just pointing out. Right, so I'm going to leave the prison number up here for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to take it down. And then when this video goes live, or I know it's live now, but when it goes live on my YouTube channel, it'll always be there for people to look at for reference. So there we go. So that's Tommy's prison number. I'm leaving it there. And what else? So yeah, so he's not the hostage anymore, is he? I used to call him the hostage and the handler, but he can't be a hostage. He's now an escapee because he's escaped, trying to rebuild his reputation that he actually destroyed himself. I keep getting messages from people saying, stop going light on him. I'm not light on him. I don't like him. I'm just saying he destroyed his reputation himself. Misses help a lot, let's be honest. But there's a thing there's wording that I used to use for this, but it would be awful if I used this wording on my YouTube channel. I would probably get told off for a strike for using such foul language. But all I'll say is, where I'm from in Belfast, we used to say things like, he is struck. He's something struck with his wife. Leave that out for your interpretation. Okay, so I'm going to take that off now. There we go. What else is happening in the chat here? And I've got that. He's AWOL. Yeah. Tracy, Tommy is in danger. The prison warden is talking about putting him in general population. They will kill him. No, they won't. Don't think that. They won't. I can tell you now, Tracy, that when he goes in there, Tommy's not an ordinary prisoner. I can tell you that now. Stephen's not an ordinary prisoner. He won't go into general population. There will be people watching him. You've got to bear in mind that all over Belmarsh prison, there is cameras everywhere. You can't get away with it. You can't get away with things inside prisons now that maybe you used to get away with in certain back in the day before they had CCTV everywhere. I don't reckon he's in danger at all. He's too high profile for something to go wrong in there. Just pointing that out. Christine, going back to South Africa to apply for divorce. I'm not sure. This nonsense about him trying to buy a house in Portugal again. Harry is worse than Tommy. A liar, a manipulator, and devious. I think. Listen, I don't think there's anyone worse than Harry, in my opinion. I really don't. But be hard. Maybe Keir Starmer right now, in my opinion, could be worse. Some of the things he's doing. In fact, I have it here that the Labour Party. That's another reason why I wanted to come on here and talk about it. The Labour Party are saying that they're going to help decrease the waiting list for the NHS. They said it's been destroyed for the last 14 years under the Tories. That's what Labour are saying. Okay, that's nonsense. Because let me point this out, and make sure you do your own research so you don't just have to listen to me. Over the last 14 years, when the Tory party have been in charge, Labour have applied enormous pressure to the Tory party. So Labour applied enormous pressure to the Tory party to make sure that we took in Afghans, Syrians, Iraqis, people from Namibia, people from all over South Africa, people from Sierra Leone, Kosovans, Albanians. The Labour Party applied so much pressure on the Tories that they wouldn't vote for things. So the Labour Party have helped add enormous pressure to NHS by letting thousands of people in. And now they're in government. They're going, we're going to try and take away the waiting list of the NHS. The reason why there is a waiting list at the NHS, and I proved this out with my own son. Was it last year, the year before? Doesn't matter. It was during the time we all had a bit of a lockdown. I had to take my son who wasn't well, and I used to take him to a health centre, right? I used to take him there for years. I turned up there and I went into the computer and I typed in my son's initials and his date of birth. No record. And I went, what? Did it again. No record. I went to the counter. I said, excuse me, I've typed in my son's information on the computer and there's no record of him. Oh, what's his name? I give him, well, the name's Colt, his date of birth. And they went, oh, he's been taken off our system. And this is what the government has done to us. I said, what do you mean taken off the system? I've always come here. Well, we've made the catchment area a lot closer. So this is what happens. Cities and towns are saturated with refugees, asylum seekers, illegal immigrants, and they're put up in hotels. And they were in Ipswich, put up in hotels. The Novotel in Ipswich was used. Tell you now, because I know for a fact, because I was there. So what they do is they then delete people further out from the area, so you can never use that health centre again, because all the asylum seekers, refugees and legal immigrants in the hotels have now taken your slot at that local health centre. So the people that pay taxes are left in the shit, and we're now told if you've got a problem, go straight to NHS. Sorry, go straight to the hospital, A&E. And I went, what? You need to go to A&E? So I now need to take my son to A&E where it's already under pressure because you've taken loads of citizens out of the catchment area so you can fill it with people that have never paid taxes or added any value. That, my friends, is a fact. That is why the NHS is under pressure. And it was done by the Labour Party, who are now blaming the Tories. Okay, they're both as bad as each other. Yeah, needed to get that off my chest a lot. Need to get that off my chest. And why is the NHS budget been eating away? Because now when you go to the NHS, I mean, listen, if I go abroad, I have to have health insurance to go abroad, just in case something happens, you know, and I need to go to hospital. But here's the thing. My health insurance will pay for what happens if I get injured abroad and I have to go to their local hospital. People are flooding our country. They're going to the hospitals, and guess what the hospitals need to do? The hospitals now need to employ loads of interpreters that are on standby on massive, massive wages because they are on contractors. They're contractors contracted to the NHS, and they're on hundreds and hundreds of pounds an hour. That comes out the NHS budget. That's why we're in the shit state that we are. Anyway, there we go. Needed to get that off my chest. Right, so listen, I'm not here to stay on all night and ruin your night, okay? I came on here to talk to you about Tommy Robinson, the Escapee, and Labour and the NHS. And I've done that, and I appreciate it. Thank you to those who have joined the chat. Thank you to those that, thanks to my members of the channel. I do appreciate it. And I will see you all tomorrow morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Have a wonderful night, people. And remember, stay safe. Keep your enemies at arm's length and delete, block anyone that is getting in your head with mental health. Have a great night, everyone, and stay safe.